Fujifilm GFX100RF. I was very excited about this camera. I was very curious about this camera, and since it came out, there was nothing but frustration and some disappointment to some degree. Amazing concept, the whole thing, the vintage vibe and manual controls, 102 million pixel sensor with a 35mm f4 lens, but it is very hard to use. It's not your standard camera. You can't just come from pretty much any different camera to this and feel comfortable with. Who is it for? This is a very good question. So let's take it for a spin and see what this is all about. Don't get me wrong, the quality this camera delivers, it's outstanding. It's just superb. What you would expect from the Fuji and what you would expect from the camera this expensive. Beautiful color, sharpness is insane. The resolution and that lens all together just work. The problem I have with this is not the actual image quality, but what it does and how people use this and what Fujifilm is trying to make us do when we use Fuji camera like this expensive Fuji camera or any other Fuji camera. I'm talking specifically about the film looks. They're great and they look superb, but that forces me to use this camera, this expensive camera, to shoot JPEGs with. And I have a huge problem with that. I understand a lot of people do want to shoot JPEG for ease of it. Basically set the look in the camera, you adjust the settings, you shoot, you take the photo off, don't do anything to it, and it's ready to print or post on social media. But sometimes there's no setting in the camera when you can compensate for too much highlights or too much shadows. There's no way to produce the optimal picture. I shoot everything in RAW in all cameras, including the Fuji, to get the most out of it. I just don't like the idea that Fujifilm wants me to shoot JPEG to get the Fujifilm colors. However, there is a way to cheat, to shoot RAW and still get the Fujifilm looks, which I'll show you right now. In Adobe Lightroom Classic, import your photos, go to Develop tab. Here, go to Color Profile drop-down and select Browse. And on drop-down list called Camera Matching, you have all those film looks available in camera. This allows you to edit high dynamic range photo and add or change the Fuji film look after. Very neat. Very fancy dial here for the crop which this camera offers. You can select 9 of different crops in camera. It's also great if you shoot JPEG, you get that look like you would do from a film, which you can't change. But what I really like, when I shoot RAW, I can actually shoot cropped, but then I can move the crop up and down or recrop or come back to the full sensor width and height if I want to. Overall speaking, the quality wise this camera offers is outstanding. As we all know, with the smaller than full frame sensor cameras, it's more pronounced. There's usually more ISO, high ISO noise visible. This is significantly bigger sensor than a full frame, so presumably it should be better than a full frame. And it kind of is. I would say it's pretty good, it's okay. The best results you get obviously at ISO 100. Anything above that, you do it at your own risk. It's okay, but not like groundbreaking in my opinion. It is a medium format camera, and for the large sensor like this is a pretty decent size small camera. It weighs 735 grams, maybe not feather light, but reasonable light for the camera this size. It kind of reminds me of the old film cameras. That's what it should supposed to make you feel like you're using an old school analog camera. It has got a rangefinder style viewfinder, so it's not a rangefinder. You don't have a hole on the other side, so you don't see optically through the glass to the side. It's actually electronic viewfinder, and a pretty good one at that. It's very clear and the colors are very good, as you would expect from the camera at this price range. I know this is a very Fuji thing to make the controls as vintage-like as possible, so you are in full control of the camera manually like you would with a film camera, but here they took it too far, I think. In principle, it's okay, but it's very hard to understand how it works. I never read manuals. I had to go into manual this time to see how you change from the program mode to aperture priority or shutter priority or manual. This is not obvious. There is this front dial. When you push it, it crops in. It's a digital zoom. You can 4 times push in to crop onto this high resolution image, but it's very easy to push it by accident by just picking the camera. Every time pretty much I'm picking it up, I am cropped in and I have to uncrop because I have cropped in by accident. Also, there's another lever here which when you push it, it switches from automatic viewfinder switch or screen only or viewfinder only. I don't know why in this camera it defaults itself to screen only every time I switch it on. So every time I want to take a picture after switching the camera on, I have to keep switching in over to viewfinder because by default is a screen. There's a few little niggles like that. Also, it is very easy to switch on by accident. It feels like every time I take out my camera bag, it's switched on because I nudged the power button by accident. A lot of accidental nudging here. And the biggest one, this camera can do decent video, but there is no obvious record video button on top. There's no red button like on most of cameras. Also, there is no easy way to switch to video mode. I had to dig in manual again. You have to press this drive button and then select the video mode in the little menu on the side to switch it to video mode. Not obvious, and if you ever used a different camera before this, very frustrating. Small thing, but the strap on this camera is one thing which really drives me crazy. I'm a big guy and this is the full length of the strap. You can adjust the length of it. If I put it on me, that's how I usually wear the cameras, I can't even put it to my face. It's not comfortable. But this is only one thing about this strap. The only way to attach this strap to the camera is through these little metal hoops. So you can only put this type of strap on it. The camera doesn't come with the little triangle things you get usually with the cameras. And if you got any different strap, design for example, which I do use a lot, you can't attach them to this because these holes are too small. This is how disasters happen. Stay. This is a fixed lens, you can't take it off, you're stuck with it. Minimum aperture is only f4, so it doesn't give you a great deal of subject to background separation, a little bit. It is sharp from edge to edge, delivers excellent results most of the time. It is a very small lens. It is a 35mm on medium format, which is about 28mm full frame equivalent. Very safe focal length. It kind of gives you this natural field of view, good for pretty much any shooting situation. Obviously you can't get to shoot wildlife with it, but for any other type of photography, pretty universal. The minimum focusing distance is only 20 centimeters, so you can get fairly close to your subject, and closer you get to it, you get more of that subject to background separation. The camera has got built-in 4-stop ND filter. That is great because it saves you from unscrewing the filters off. You can switch it on with the press of the button. This works with photography and video. Also, like with the X100 series, there is a leaf shooter which allows you to shoot at any shutter speed with flash. Very specialist thing, but if you shoot with flash, very useful. The big deal I need to talk about here is the autofocus. It seems to be working. It's tracking, it's focusing, but the success rate isn't that great. It's what Fujifilm have been for many years right now. They have fixed that, in my opinion, in a cheap bottom of the range XM5 camera, which I have reviewed on this channel before. In here, it seemingly works, but it's not very reliable. The thing is though, the whole operation of this camera and how you use it and what you're using it for, it probably doesn't matter as much. If you want the vintage vibe going on here, which you do get with this, the autofocus doesn't have to be like perfect and sticky and sports performance like, because for street photography, landscape, everyday stuff, you still have to spend time adjusting the camera settings because it's not quick to use. So the autofocus, if you spend time on getting it right, you're gonna get it right. I think it should be a bit better than this. It's not, but it's a part of the vintage vibe. I've done a lot of testing, filming with this camera, and it's not good. It's slightly disappointing. When I'm in the frame, when I was doing tests, when I've got a human in the frame, it's pretty good. It's tracking the eye, it's tracking the face. Performance is pretty good. It seems to be doing its job fine. But when I try to film anything else, it literally doesn't know what's happening. Sometimes it works pretty well and smooth. It focuses wherever you point the focusing point. But other times it just doesn't do anything. It just forgets how the autofocusing works. I've tried overriding it manually with the lens a little bit. but that doesn't work very well either. Big deal as well is the focus breathing. There's quite a bit of focus breathing visible. You can't change the lens, so you are stuck with it permanently, but overall focusing performance is letting this camera down. You do have an amazing video specs. You do have a 4K 30p top frame rate on this and the frame size, but you do have a all intra, you got a long GOP and pretty well spec for video. It's just that autofocus lets it down seriously. It's not really a camera for any serious performance. It's the same as with photography. If you take your time, you're gonna get okay results with it. Apart from that, disappointing. On top of that, there is no optical stabilization built in. When you shoot photos, most of the time it's manageable without it, it's okay. When you shoot video, it is a problem. Any handshakes, not smooth movement is totally visible. There is digital image stabilization, pretty decent, making it even possible to get steady handheld walking shots like this one. Who is this camera for? This is a very hard question to answer. Because its price, it costs nearly $5,000, £5,000. This is not camera for everyone. The first thought really is someone who's got money and wants to invest in a camera which will last. For someone, this is a camera for someone who takes photography seriously, who wants something which not only looks good but has got that nostalgic vintage vibe, and this delivers absolutely. The image quality is outstanding, is very, very good. You have to take your time to get the best results out of it. Also, I personally think it's a camera for someone who likes and wants to edit the photos. It's not, for this price, you don't want the camera to do a work for you. Conclusion, my final thoughts. This is a very expensive, a specialist kind of tool for a serious nerd. This is a camera for someone who wants absolute best, high resolution, vintage-like object of desire, or simply a status symbol. It's a camera that could be sometimes a challenge if you got zero Fujifilm or this kind of Fujifilm experience previously, or you're coming from literally any other brand of the cameras. It's quirky, but delivers absolute outstanding, excellent Fujifilm results. It's not a camera for everyone. Do your research before buying this. This is not a spur of the moment purchase, not at this price. If you're buying this, you know why you want this camera. It's a camera to experience the photography, is the camera to have that nostalgic experience with it and enjoy the process. It's not the camera to whip out and shoot sports or events or weddings. Maybe for some. I don't think I could do any professional work with this, but I would absolutely love using this on a day-to-day basis when I'm trying to be, or I want to be, creative. So the final verdict is very cool camera, but it can be sometimes very frustrating. That's it from me. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, you know the drill, and I'll see you in the next one.